All right, good morning, guys. Today we are going to do chromatography. Chromatography is a field of science where we get to study how an object's colors can identify it. Forensics use this all the time to study different parts of or to catch criminals. And a lot of it is used in plants, and for what we're going to do today, we're going to use ink. The question of the day really is this. If we look at this gray, transition. If we look at this gray marker, is it made up of just gray? Or are there other colors inside this marker giving it its gray shade? And we can find out using a scientific technique called chromatography. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it today. The lab, of course, is on Google Docs, and you can follow along the instructions there. You shouldn't need to watch the video to do it, but if you're watching it, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to find this out. So there are going to be some things that you're going to need for the experiment today. The first thing you're going to want to have is a glass of water. Don't fill it up all the way full, but just kind of fill it, a couple inches off the bottom, because you're going to be dipping the paper inside here, and that's what causes the chromatography to work. We'll set that off to the side. Another tool that you're going to need is just going to need a pencil or a pen that you're not going to write with. This is just going to be one of those that you use. It'll hang the paper. If you have it, tape. If you don't have it, not a big deal. We can show you two ways to keep the paper stuck to the pencil. You're going to want a pair of scissors so that you can cut stuff. And of course, a bunch of different markers if you can get. All sorts of different colors. Blacks and purples and darker colors are usually the best. But any marker will work. Just make sure, and I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Just make sure that it says that it's water soluble and that it's washable, because otherwise this doesn't work. If you use like a Sharpie or something like that, this experiment won't work. We need a watercolor to get this going. And then the last piece that you need is you're just going to need a sheet of notebook paper or printer paper, because this is what we'll be making the chromatography out of. So let's get in and I'll show you what you're going to do. First step that you're going to do is you're going to take your paper here and you're going to cut off about a 1-inch strip from the end. And so when you're done, you should have a nice little strip about 1 inch wide. Second step then is take the end of it, one end of it, and you're going to cut it into a triangle. Let's see if I can get it done. You don't have to be accurate with it, but you're going to have a triangle cut into it. Once you have that triangle cut, take a pencil and connect the 2 points so that you have a line right there. And I can hold it up so that you can see, maybe. Let me swap over to the other camera so you can see what we're doing. You kind of want to put a line right at the end of this so that you have a starting point. And that's what we're looking at here. All right. Once you've done that, you're going to take, and does it look better if I put it here? Yeah, it might be better if I just do it right here. And get it out of the glare. So what you're going to do is on that pencil line that you drew is you're going to take your marker and you're going to place a small dot. Doesn't have to be very big. Again, let's see if I can hold it up and you can see it. Yeah, we'll swap back. You can see that you're just putting a little dot on the line. All right. You're going to do that about 5 times until you have a really nice, thick marker color. And we'll do it again. And you're just going to keep going until you have a really, really nice, because we want a lot of ink on this. That's what we're going for here, is we want a lot of ink. All right, so once you have it, it should look like this. And what's going to happen is that we're going to put the end of this in the water. The water should wick up the top of the paper, and as it goes up, what it's going to do is it's going to separate the colors based on density. Now, density means, of course, high dense means thicker, and low dense means thinner and smaller, which means the less dense colors will go up farther. The heavy colors will stay down here at the bottom, and you should see a rainbow come out of these things. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Once you have this set up, let me get this back where I want it. What you need to do is take your pencil, and you're going to wrap this around the pencil so that it kind of rolls up. All right. It'll look like a tie hanging down. Because you're going to unroll it into the water. And here's what's going to happen. Now remember, you only want to put the little end of the little end of your triangle into the water. So let's swap back over. I can show you what you're going to do. So you're going to set it on top of your cup, and here's where the tape comes in handy, because sometimes you need to tape it in place. But I should be able to roll this down in, hopefully. Now, don't get your dot in the water. If you get your dot in the water, it won't work. So it should, hopefully we can see this. When we're done with this, you should be able to see. Okay, so once you have it set up, this is what it looks like when it's hanging down in there. You should see that just the end is in the water. As soon as it gets the water will start going up the glass. As it goes up the glass, you can start to see the colors start pulling out of this and start separating. Even on this one, I mean, right after I put this in, it immediately started. We can see pinks, reds, and yellows starting to come out. Now, purple, of course, is made up of red and blue, but there are other colors mixed in. Every company has its own secret recipe, and that's what you're trying to find out. I would say as many glasses as you got, try a whole bunch of different colors at the same time. It only takes a couple minutes to set up, but you can definitely get a whole bunch of other colors going and just compare where everything happens. Now this, by the way, this is going to take about an hour to do, so you just need to let it sit. When you're done, you should get a strip that has different colors placed out. You can see the pinks, the reds, the greens, the blues, all in different positions on top of this. You can do as many markers as you want. And of course, if you have questions, don't be afraid to send me an email about what's going on, and hopefully we can take care of this. You guys have a great week. We miss you. We're hoping to get back to school this year, but it looks like you guys are freshmen. Take care.